Good evening. I am John Walkenfuss, President of J&L Staffing and Recruiting of Sioux City here, and a board member for the SiouxLand area chapter of the American Red Cross. I'd like to welcome you to the 12th annual Heroes of the Heartland event. Recently, I found this definition of a hero. A hero is an extraordinary person facing extraordinary circumstances and acting with courage, honor, and self-sacrifice. At the event tonight, you will hear about people in our community who have gone the extra mile and stepped up at times of crisis or conflict. These people are not well-known celebrities. They have not been widely recognized by our community for our efforts. They are ordinary citizens who did extraordinary things. Their stories are shining examples of how people step up when others are in need, do the right thing without asking for glory or honor, and try to leave the world a bit better than the way they found it. At J&L, we have a quote on the wall when people enter our building which states, "Action speaks louder than words." Through their heroic actions in times of need, our nominees here tonight demonstrate those words perfectly. They did not back away from a difficult situation, but instead acted with courage and kindness. At J&L Staffing and Recruiting, we are committed to acting in positive ways for our community as we sponsor many great events like this one, awesome biker nights, the NAIA volleyball tournament, and strongly support great endeavors like the future Children's Museum of SiouxLand. Our commitment to the Red Cross has a long history. It is of personal importance to my family because I know that in a time of real need, the Red Cross is here for us as they help people recover from tragic fires, flooding, damaging storms, and other events that could affect any of us at any time. I hope you have a great time tonight. Enjoy the food, drink, auction items, and especially the program honoring amazing people who live among us in our community. I hope that you gain inspiration from their stories and you all work to pay it forward in your daily life. At this time, I ask that you please stand as members of the 185th Air Refueling Wing will present the colors. We will have a few moments of silence in support of those who are impacted by the Washington landslide tragedy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tammy Lee, Executive Director of the American Red Cross, serving the Greater Iowa area.
And I'm Mike Koistra, Board Chairperson for the SiouxLand Area Chapter of the American Red Cross. On behalf of our board, committee, staff, and volunteers, we are pleased to welcome you here to the 12th Annual Heroes of the Heartland Banquet. March is Red Cross Month and a time when we like to recognize the everyday heroes who reach out to help their neighbors when they are in need. And it would not be possible to do so without all of the businesses and individuals who sponsor this event. First, I must give special thanks to our title sponsor, J&L Enterprises.
I would also like to acknowledge our local sustaining partners, Shields All Sports and J&L Enterprises, for their year-round support. We are also grateful to our media partners, ABC9 and Powell Broadcasting radio stations KSIOU and KSCJ, for helping us share the story of the Red Cross and recognizing our everyday heroes. Please take a moment, if you haven't already, and look in your program to see the names of all of our wonderful sponsors. We're so thankful for their support, and one more time, let's give them all a round of applause. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our video production today, Wall to Wall, and they've helped us produce our program. This is their 10th year, and we're very lucky to have them. They put in a lot of work for us. Thank you.
The American Red Cross depends not only on financial support of sponsors, but also on the generous gifts of time and talent from our volunteers. Please turn again to your program, and you'll see the names of the members of our board of directors printed in that program. Would all of my fellow board members please stand and be recognized at this time?
Don't be bashful. The Red Cross is a volunteer-led organization. We truly could not do what we do without the time and the energy of our amazing volunteers. Would all of our Red Cross volunteers with us this evening please stand to be recognized for your commitment and service? As I look at this amazing crowd, I'm pleased to announce that we have more than 350 registered guests with us. And with your help, we hope that we reach our goal of raising more than $35,000 tonight. So far, our sponsors alone have brought in more than $26,000. So through our silent auction and an opportunity later in our program, we hope to bolster that to $35,000 tonight. I do want to acknowledge our elected officials that we have in the room here today, and I believe that we have Senator Dan Lederman here with us. So Senator Lederman, thank you for joining us this evening.
Each of you received a pledge card at check-in. Later in the program, you will hear more about the local impact of the American Red Cross. We'll collect the cards and, of course, any contributions that you'd like to make at the end of the evening. Anyone who completes a card will be entered for a drawing of this Eaton, I gotta get this right, hand turbine AM/FM weather alert radio. Fred, this is right up your alley.
It's fancy. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got a USB port, I believe. You can charge your phone on it. It's a little hand crank thing, solar powered. Pretty cool stuff.
Wow. It says it's a $60 value, but it's got to be worth like thousands, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, if it alerts you to danger, it's priceless, right?
Sure.
Right. It takes hard work and dedication to put on this great event, and we're blessed to have a great committee. This year, you'll see their names listed in the program, of course, because we put all good things in the program. At this time, I would like to ask the members of the program, the committee that put all of this together. They not only made our room look beautiful, but have solicited sponsorships and really done work on this for a number of months. So our program committee chairs, please, or committee members, please stand and be recognized. There are more than 3 of you. They're such a humble group.
Now it is our pleasure to introduce our MCs for the evening. You will recognize the face of ABC 9's Chief Meteorologist, Fred Hexum. We welcome Fred back for his 2nd year in a row. Last year he brought this weird April snowstorm with him, and we're really hoping for something a little better this year, Fred, but I think you're 0 for 2 here, right? Yeah. Fred's first job after college was with CBS in New York, where he worked with the Late Show with David Letterman, 60 Minutes, and CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. He's been with KCAU for nearly 6 years. We're happy to have Fred with us today.
And tonight we also have with us KSU's morning show host, Tony Michaels. He's one half of the Tony and Candace show, and I thought I'd pump Tony up by introducing him as the better half, but I'm not sure, I didn't think I wanted to risk that getting back to Candace. She's got a way of finding things out. So tonight we'll say he's the other half, but you can judge during the course of the program what you think. Tony's local contributions have not gone unnoticed beyond the work that he does with KSU. As a matter of fact, he was recognized as one of SiouxLand Magazine's 10 under 40 young professionals who are impacting the area. In addition to radio, Tony's active in many local nonprofits, including the Peer Center for Autism and now the American Red Cross. I know that I'm jumping ahead, but you'll note that, well, actually behind, because we already recognized him for his work on the event committee. So he's an all-around kind of guy. So please welcome Fred and Tony to the stage, and we're going to get out of here.
Thank you very much, Tammy, and thank you, Mike, and what a pleasure it is to be here with all of you tonight. A great meal, and as you heard, I did this last year and was really inspired by all the stories that I heard, and I hope that you're similarly inspired here tonight.
And I'm glad to be here this evening. This room looks absolutely fantastic. It's been open for about a week now. One of the first big events here, so hopefully you enjoy the ambiance. And by the way, we have some business. I talked about Jenna. We have some baby names for you. I know you have a son, Hunter, and so I'd like to suggest, that was the winning bid, by the way, Holly, Haley, Hannah, Harriet, that was Fred, Helen, Hope, and Jessica, because as we all know at ABC 9, you're all named Jessica. So.
We'll be thinking of some more as well as we go along, perhaps. Well, a couple of housekeeping details first. We ask that you please silence your cell phones, but we understand many of you may still be checking your devices. So, when you check your Facebook page, consider going to the Red Cross page to like us here tonight, if you haven't done so already. The web address is facebook.com/American Red Cross Iowa, or you can search for Red Cross Iowa. The information is on each of your tables, and we would love for you to tag us and share your pictures from today's event.
Now, as you may have seen the Academy Awards with Ellen, she did the selfie gimmick. And while Fred was doing a fantastic stand-up job for ABC 9, I was also working hard. And I was also capturing some of my own selfies here right before we got started. So as you can clearly see, let's see, here I am with Jenna Renstrom. Let's see, we got me and Herbie Husker here as well. So once again, we want to make sure that you do some selfies here, and then make sure you update that to that Facebook page too. And news by media standards, but we want to help in capturing the program tonight. So make sure you feel free to take that selfie and post it on the Facebook page for the Red Cross. And the Red Cross has had some fun with this, and even got Iowa's Governor Terry Branstad to take his first group selfie. So if you will, please take some selfies and post those on the Red Cross Facebook page. Thank you.
I also like selfies, but I'm kind of new to selfies. In fact, I'm kind of new to smartphones, as my coworkers can tell you. Eventually, I realized it wasn't really ethical for me to be promoting, hey, download our app, when I'd never seen it myself. So I now have this device, which I'm really learning in the selfies, learning photography skills as we go along. So, you know, if the governor can do it, I think we should all try to do a little bit more selfie activity, you know. Social media volunteers are posting more photos to Facebook, so please tag yourself and share with your friends and families. We're also live tweeting, and you can join the conversation by following Greater IA _ ARC and use the hashtag IAHeroes. We look forward to seeing your pictures.
And we'll begin the program this evening with a man who has been honored during the Hy-Vee Heroes game at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, a date that I have blocked out for obvious reasons. Iowa, any Iowa fans in the house? I thought this event was in Nebraska. Okay. 30 years ago, Hy-Vee, the American Red Cross, and the universities of Iowa and Nebraska joined together to celebrate heroes in both states. The 2013 Hy-Vee Heroes game honoree is Hinton, Iowa firefighter Mike Clemenson. And Mike, if you would, please stand.
I'm a full-time firefighter in Sioux City, Iowa at the International Guard base there. I'm also a volunteer firefighter with Hinton's Volunteer Fire Department, which is my hometown. Hinton community, it's a great community. It's growing fast. Small town, everybody, you know, looks after one another and supports one another. What happened on August 20th, I was actually out with a neighbor from down the street, and we were just having a conversation in the middle of the street, and we both kind of noticed that my neighbor directly next to me, there was smoke coming from what seemed to be their roof. So we started walking that direction, and as we were rounding the rear of their house, the roof actually blew through and there was flames coming out of the roof. So I had mentioned to my neighbor that I was with to call 911, and I ran to the front of the house knowing that there was at least 6 people inside. When I first walked into the door, the mom was coming towards the front door screaming, and she evacuated the house with the dog. As I was heading down the stairs, I had realized that the back wall of the downstairs was also burning, and the 2 children of the house were awake by that time, and they were holding their 2 children, and they were starting their way up the stairs. I helped them up to the top of the stairs and to the front door, and then went back downstairs to get the father of the house, who was just awaking from the couch, and helped him to the top of the stairs and out the front door. Within a minute or two after we finally got out of the house with the 6 residents, it was fully involved. The first fire engine arrived from Hinton, and then Merrill, a town just north of Hinton, mutual aided, and they brought their ladder truck. The roof collapsed early on, and when the roof collapsed onto the first floor, it took the whole first floor down to the basement. It was a total loss. Luckily, there were no injuries, and they're in the process of doing some rebuilding right now, so I know it'll continue on. When I first found out I was nominated, it felt great just to be appreciated like that. I don't think that I did anything different than anybody else in the fire department would have done themselves, but I'm just glad that somebody was in the position I was in to do it.
Thank you, Mike, for being with us here tonight and reminding our audience that the 2014 Hy-Vee Heroes game will be here before we know it. We hope all of you will remember to take a nomination form with you when you leave. Your nominee could be honored at Kinnick Stadium in the fall or be celebrated a year from now at this event. Thank you, of course, to Hy-Vee for their generous support of the American Red Cross.
Now, throughout today's program, you'll meet heroes of all ages. We'll begin by recognizing student honorees, the winners of our annual poster and essay contest. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt made the first presidential proclamation of March as Red Cross Month. That was in the year 1943. Every year since, the President of the United States has proclaimed March to be Red Cross Month, giving the Red Cross an opportunity to promote its services and celebrate its successes in serving communities across the U.S. Now, each year, the Red Cross in SiouxLand area hosts a poster contest for school children to commemorate March as Red Cross Month. This year's winning entries are here in the room. If you didn't get a chance to look at the artwork before you stopped in today, please take a few minutes to admire them before you leave. And at this time, I'd like to invite the poster contest winners to the stage to receive your award. So please come to the stage if you are the poster contest winners.
First here, this is Mackenzie Moore from West Monona Middle School in Ottawa, 7th grade. 7th grade, congratulations.
Way to go, Mackenzie.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Next, we have Jessica De La Cruz from West High in Sioux City, 9th grade. 9th grade, congratulations. Any other poster winners here this evening? If so, come on up. In addition to the poster contest, a student essay contest is held each spring. Students are asked to write an essay in 400 words or less about their personal hero. As you might expect, many essays focused on moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, and teachers. This year, our winning entries honored the impact of a great-grandmother, a father, and a teacher. Each essay was heartwarming, and more than one brought tears to the eyes of the readers. We have 3 students with us tonight. We would like each of them to come forward and receive their award. And Ty, feel free to bring your hero along too.
Ty Rieger is in 5th grade at Beresford Elementary. Ty's hero is his dad, Darren. Now, in Ty's words, his dad is a leader and an inspiration on my life. Everything I do has an influence or a connection to him. So once again, congratulations to Ty.
Marissa Beatty is in the 8th grade at MOC Floyd Valley Middle School. Marissa's hero is her late great-grandmother, Gigi, is that correct? Wanted to make sure I said that right. Who passed away in January of this year. In Marissa's words, what really made my grandmother a hero was how she accepted that she was going to die. Grandma Gigi knew she couldn't prevent leaving this world. Marissa goes on to say later in her essay, we think that heroes dress in capes, save people's lives, and defeat villains with powerful weapons. However, true heroes are the ones who make a positive impact on us and change our lives for the better.
And Gracie Scott is in 11th grade at Sergeant Bluff High School. Grace's hero is her teacher and mentor, Mrs. Jennifer Hazel. Grace credits Mrs. Hazel with showing her that education is not something to just throw away. She says of Mrs. Hazel that she is always free to talk with an open mind and a benevolent voice. Benevolent. Hear that, Travis Morgan? That's a great word, by the way. Mrs. Hazel has become a trusted friend that I will miss greatly when I graduate. Once again, Grace, thank you so much.
All right. Let's have a round of applause for each of our writers and their hero. Thank you to our students and their heroes for attending today. Also, a big thank you to the teachers who encouraged the student writers and artists, as well as the judges who gave their time to evaluate each student's work. And I think you can all head back to your seat. Thank you. Congratulations. Well, in a year without a major hurricane hitting the U.S., the largest Red Cross responses were on major regional disasters, such as flooding in Colorado and tornadoes in the Midwest.
Red Cross disaster workers from Iowa traveled to Oklahoma, Colorado, Illinois, and even the Philippines to help with the recovery in those areas. Would all those Red Cross disaster workers here tonight please stand and be recognized? Locally, our Red Cross volunteers have seen their share of action in recent months. October tornadoes, sheltering to support Briarcliff students during a water main break, and just 3 weeks ago, the Glen Oaks apartment fire. These are the incidents that stick out in our minds, yet the most common disaster response is to single-family home fires. In 2013, the Red Cross responded to 570 home fires. That's in Iowa alone. Part of the Red Cross mission is to better prepare our communities. Over the past 18 months, the Red Cross has been partnering with communities to conduct smoke alarm installation projects. And we can share tonight that we know at least one family has been saved by smoke alarms installed with the help of Red Cross volunteers. But people are also increasingly reliant on mobile devices as a lifeline for emergency, and all the information that comes with it. Also connecting with loved ones after a disaster. Nearly 1/5 of Americans say they have received emergency information from an app. And as we move closer to severe weather season, you take nothing else from this evening's program. We hope you very least download the Red Cross tornado and flood apps. It has the live NOAA weather radio information, and is also documented to have saved lives during the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. So please make sure you download that app.
Weather radio does save lives, and so we do encourage you to be surrounded by weather radio in whatever form, on your phone, actual radio as much as possible. Great thing to have. All of the Red Cross mobile apps are available on iPhone, iPad, and Android for both smartphones and tablets, so people can view Red Cross apps in either English and Spanish too, so no excuse not to have one.
And without further ado, let's meet the 2014 Heroes of the Heartland.
First, we honor a group of heroes that all epitomize what the Red Cross is all about.
These upstanding citizens went above and beyond to help someone in need. Please watch.
Megan is a senior at Unity Christian High School in Orange City, had just returned to what was left of 8th period with Miss Van Dyke's senior English class. They had been reading to elementary students that day. It's just a few minutes before the bell will ring. Suddenly, there's a commotion. Megan has collapsed to the floor. Miss Van Dyke rushes to her side and a fellow student runs for help. Megan gasps for air, and then she's silent. With a condition since childhood known as long QT syndrome, Megan has just suffered a major heart attack, and now she isn't breathing. By now, Mr. Beimers and Mr. Scouten are in the room. They've been trained for this, but hoped that they would never have to perform CPR or chest compressions on a student. They continued their efforts until the EMTs arrived. Megan was taken to the local hospital, flown by helicopter to Sioux Falls. She eventually was given an internal defibrillator at Mayo Clinic. She is now back at school and thankful for being given a second chance at life. Although neither accepts the title of hero, both history teacher Terry Beimers and Vice Principal Terry Scouten saved Megan's life that day, and she is proud to call them her heroes.
It's just another day at West Monona Elementary. It's lunchtime. 4th and 5th graders eating, laughing, chatting with friends. Here's Josh Little, who's not so little in the eyes of some, especially his friend after that day. Josh is a normal kid. He's always got something to do or talk about, and on that day, he was sitting near a classmate who he knew had been sick recently and still had a cough. They were telling stories when Josh realized his friend, who had continued coughing, wasn't still sick. He was choking. Josh jumped into action without hesitation. To help his buddy, Josh began back blows to help knock the obstruction loose while trying to wave down the lunchroom assistant for help. Luckily, Josh was able to dislodge the piece of food before people around him even knew what was happening. His buddy was fine thanks to Josh's quick response. He won't admit it, but Josh is one of those special people who leaps into action when something needs to be done. Joshua Little is a big hero.
It was over 100 degrees that day. Most of us know how miserable that can be, especially if you have to work in that kind of heat. Well, Jeff Madsen is used to all kinds of weather, and as a rural mail carrier for 23 years, he's seen a few things, but never this. He had just dropped off 78-year-old Mary Jane Bromander's mail and was about to drive away when he noticed some movement out of the corner of his eye. He soon discovered Mary Jane lying on the ground beside her car on the hot gravel driveway where she had been, in this heat, for nearly an hour. He couldn't get her up. She was barely conscious, so Jeff found someone in a nearby field to help and called 911. Mary Jane had fallen attempting to get into the driver's seat, and her cell phone was in the car. The Bromander house is 8 miles outside of Sloan, and most likely no one may have found her until it was too late. Mary Jane barely remembers the ambulance ride to Mercy, where her body temp had risen to well over 100 degrees. But she does remember Jeff Madsen. He's not just the mail carrier, he's a true life hero.
Danielle Heisel works as office manager at the Zolman Chiropractic Clinic in Lamars, where they have used the American Red Cross for their first aid and CPR training for several years. Most people think they'll never use the training, but fortunately, Danielle had the skills when it counted most. On April 21st, 2013, her son Carter was playing with a toy in his mouth that soon became stuck in his throat. When she found him, he was already turning blue. She yelled for her husband. He called 911 and ran to the neighbors for more help. The ambulance was coming, but still blocks away. By the time her husband BJ and the neighbor had rushed back to the house, they saw the look on Danielle's face. She had used her training from work. She did back blows and chest thrusts. The toy had come out. Danielle was so glad she knew what to do. Danielle's sons think she's a hero just because she's mom, but her husband and neighbors know she is a real life-saving hero.
Because of the heroic actions of 3 people who just happened to come along, 3 children were rescued from a certain fate. While driving south on I-29 near Council Bluffs, Jeff and Carrie Mogensen and Paige Oliva came across a vehicle that was flipped on its side. Jeff and Paige rushed to the scene looking to help and found 3 young children approximately 5 to 9 years old who were still in the car. As they rescued each child, Carrie kept them safe away from the vehicle. Immediately after the children were free, the car was engulfed in flames. All 3 heroes are employed by the South Sioux City School District. Carrie and Paige are teachers, and Jeff is in the computer department. Ordinary people came along at just the right moment and did extraordinary things. Jeff, Carrie, and Paige are heroes.
It is an honor to present these extraordinary individuals with their awards. I'll read your names, and then if you could come up at that time, that would be terrific. And please stay on the stage until all the awards are presented. Terry Beimers and Terry Scouten. Joshua Little. Jeff Madsen. Danielle Heisel. Jeff and Carrie Mogensen and Paige Oliva.
And next we'll honor 3 individuals who have gone above and beyond to help those in need. They are community-minded, and we hope their stories will be an inspiration to you. Please turn your attention to the screen as we learn more about Heroes of the Heartland Award, Carla Granstrom.
Carla's very passionate about the work she does. She is a person that can start something and complete it, no matter what task she is given. Carla started the first lithotripsy here in SiouxLand. She also started a bladder incontinence program, an epilepsy clinic, and she also was a part of the education in the emergency department and now with the Child Advocacy Center and with drug and alcohol and driving. As I was doing my research on Carla to nominate her for this award, I didn't even know that she started the first domestic violence clinic in the city. She started it at St. Joseph's before we even met. Carla sees the need in the medical arena. She sees what is lacking and where we need to fix it, and with that she goes forward. She's probably not the most analytical person that I've met, but her drive and passion gets her from A to B to C, and she completes a project. Carla is the type of person who will come to work in the morning and be wearing one brown shoe and one blue shoe, and she won't care to go home and change it. She will continue on with the jobs and the assignments that she has that day, and knowing that she doesn't match. Carla has really made a difference in the schools, in the community. Each year she reaches out to greater than 200 teens, young adults, children, whether it's teaching about drunk and drug driving or internet safety to small children and to their parents. But if I could count all the children and young teens and young adults that she has made a difference in their lives, I think it would far surpass 10,000 children over the course of the years that she has been involved with this. As the education coordinator for Mercy Child Advocacy Center, Carla researches various speakers and brings them to the SiouxLand area. And the audiences she draws are between 200, 250, and at one time 500 people that come to these twice a year. So the impact she has made on the community as far as child abuse is phenomenal. Carla has also opened her home up to foreign exchange students. I don't think a lot of people know that. She also spent time, a semester in England in a hospital working on quality issues within that hospital. Carla, thank you for making a difference. There's many people's lives you have touched over the course of your 40 years as a nurse. And please know that we recognize that. Thank you.
What an outstanding video. This award is presented on behalf of ABC 9, so Fred Hexum, if you would do the honors.
Absolutely. Carla, on behalf of ABC 9, it is my honor to present you with a Heroes of the Heartland Award for your dedication to the community and its health education. Your efforts have undoubtedly impacted an untold number of lives.
Congratulations once again, Carla.
Our next award recipient is also a very dedicated individual. More than 3 decades invested in making a difference for the Special Olympics. Please turn your attention to the screen to learn more about our next Heroes of the Heartland Award recipient, Marla Greer.
Marla was nominated as a hero by myself and 87 other athletes, coaches, and family because she has been the head of Special Olympics for almost 30 years.
It's love and it's care. She cares about the people that she's around, and she cares about their feelings and about how their day is going. And just a simple, hey, how are you doing, means a lot to some of these athletes.
She is caring and energetic and a happy person and nice.
No athlete is left behind because they don't have the money to go. She personally sees to it. Her number is on everything. If you need a ride, if you need money, call me. For 30 years.
I started getting involved in Special Olympics, and she's that organizer, the person that just, she does it all. She helped us to get to the fun things like the healthy athletes there in Lincoln, and they did everything from dental work to glasses. If you needed glasses, that she made sure you got there to get glasses.
She's a nice, caring person.
Marla saw to it that the student I had not only had a ride, she saw to it that he had a suitcase, every bit of clothing, was clean, had soap, toothpaste. I mean, she helped him get every single thing. A lot of our athletes have wonderful family support, but we also have some that have no family support.
I mean, she's a second mom to some of these athletes, pretty much.
The day that we went to Walmart and got this student everything he needed to go, and I watched her just pack it all up and stick it in the back of her minivan, was the day she was my hero.
You could see just the impact of people getting involved in sports with her. You see them open up more. You see them interacting with their friends. You see, it's just it's a huge impact on their lives, definitely.
My name is Coach.
Last January, February, we went to Korea, and that was like a year of preparation, a year of practice, a year of fundraising, and that was all set up by her.
You know, there's a lot of things that happen when you have a population of special needs students that you can't predict. But she's just a steady ship through all of it.
There was an athlete that was having a hard time adjusting to gameplay, adjusting to just working together as a team and actually playing our first games as the team. He was kind of getting a little worked up about it, and she just went over and she was patient and she talked to him just in that nice, kind voice and really calmed him down to just bring him down. And then she started explaining things like, this is what we have to do to be a team.
She helps people out when they need it.
Not just supporting students that have support, but for the students that don't have support. She's the family for the students that don't have it. Especially one boy, and I'll just say Special Olympics is everything to that boy.
Marla, you deserve the best of the world, and you're an amazing person.
She deserved to win because she put all her time into the Olympics.
She's made me a better person. She's given me an understanding into special needs and what they need in the community. She's given me an understanding of acceptance and how every person is important. And that's what I'd like to tell her thank you for, what she's done for me personally.
You're our hero.
This award is going to be presented by my co-MC, Tony Michaels. Tony.
I'm going to go off script here for a little bit, if you don't mind. As the father of a special needs child, I think I fully understand that these parents have a lot of challenges they have to overcome. And when you get someone that truly gets it, that's so impactful. So, on behalf of a special needs child, my son is 10 years old, has autism, nonverbal, so he can't physically tell you what people like you do for him. So, once again, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
And now, I'll get to the script. On behalf of Powell Broadcasting, KSU 105.7 and KSUJ, it is my honor to present you with the Heroes of Heartland Award once again, and that is for the personalized attention you've given to so many for so long. Your commitment has not only provided opportunity, but resulted in outstanding achievement. So once again, a big round of applause for Marla Greer, and fantastic work.
Our final Heroes of the Heartland Award recipient this evening is a member of the 185th Air Refueling Wing. There are so many acts of heroism within the work of our armed forces that it is very difficult to select someone for this type of recognition. At this time, I'd like you to turn to the screen to learn why James Thomas III, JT, was chosen for this honor.
First of all, I'd say that I admire him.
In my job as a chaplain, you know, it's my responsibility and it's truly my passion to care for people, no matter what their situation is, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. JT doesn't have to do that.
Suicide has dramatically increased in the military over the past decade. And there's been a lot of, different efforts in trying to thwart that and to put that off. And he and some of his cohorts established a hotline to deal with that.
What more appropriate, task or could a person be doing than that? I mean, it's so important and relevant to where we're at as a service now.
And to have someone like JT out there working behind the scenes, doing these type of services for our veterans are invaluable. And I wished more people would do things like that.
He's very young, and to find someone so young who has so much caring and so much empathy for his fellow man, someone who has such strong beliefs and values, to take the time to do that, to be on call 24 hours a day, I find that remarkable.
He chooses to passionately want to be involved with his own time, and he doesn't consider that a sacrifice whatsoever, and I admire that so much.
He just really doesn't talk a lot about the things he does in the community. And sometimes, when you're working with people, you try to get to know people and you ask them questions, and it's just something that he doesn't really just bring forward a lot.
The fact that you know that not everyone's going to make it through is something you're going to have to deal with as part of that. So I find it very much a hero's job.
That he does it because it's a part of his inner being. It's a part of who he is, to care for those who have given so much for this country and the people they care for as well.
And to have one of my airmen volunteer all this time and effort and energy and make a real difference with it, I just can't think of a more valuable contribution, to the SiouxLand area than what he's doing right now.
A suicide creates such turmoil and pain in a family. It has shockwaves that go through when someone commits suicide, and the stopping of the thwarting of that is just very remarkable.
He takes his responsibility to be there and never leave them behind very seriously in his work with seeking to help those who are considering suicide or have thoughts of suicide.
Well, I appreciate the work, and I had told him that. I really do appreciate the work he does.
I think I know I have an obligation, not just to the men and women of the 185th, but to the entire spectrum of those of us who wear the uniform. And this is a great effort he does to reach out to all of them. So to him, I would say thanks for a job well done and keep up the great work.
You don't know the impact of the work that you do and what it's done and through those lives that you saved.
It's a unique characteristic that he chooses to be involved in so many different levels, not even just the things that are described in the award, but in so many other ways that he chooses to give of himself and to volunteer and to be a part of our community and to serve. And I think that's just a unique characteristic, which is why he is so deserving of this award.
James, on behalf of J&L Staffing and Recruiting, it is my honor to award you with this Heroes of the Heartland Award. Your actions demonstrate a commitment to being there for people in need, and we truly hope your story inspires others.
Such a great vibe in this room so far this evening. Please, once again, join me in one more round of applause for all the 2014 Heroes of the Heartland recipients.
As you were just saying, a great vibe in the room tonight, and it really is interesting to expand our definition of hero in our mind. It certainly is beyond a superhero with a cape, but it's even beyond what you might have in mind for that definition of a hero. So when you see how broad the different heroic acts are. It really is inspiring to know that there are so many people out there that step up when duty calls for them. So that's a great thing to have in our community right here in SiouxLand, a bunch of wonderful people. Well, yes.
Sorry, I'm clap happy. This is such a great event, you know? I also, shout out, I know we have the Special Olympics. I was talking to Amanda earlier. I wish them luck. I believe Saturday, right? You're leaving at 5:45 in the morning for basketball in Lincoln. So a big good luck to them. And Fred, since it is Lincoln, this is the one approved time we can say, go Big Red.
Well, at this time, Tony and I are going to pass the baton to Mike Koiskra and John Walkenfuss as they share the spirit of the Red Cross, but we'll be back.
Every service that the American Red Cross provides begins with you. Your support helps the Red Cross prepare for emergencies like fire, flooding, and tornadoes. And when disaster strikes, your generosity provides hot meals, cleanup kits, and shelter.
My dad, he was at the scene, you know, just watching his house burn. And he turned around and all of a sudden there's Mr. Jacobs from the Red Cross.
Just huge outpouring of love, just going, people care.
I called the Red Cross. One phone call, within a week, he was there.
It still hurts, and I just wanted to be okay.
It's just immeasurable how powerful that one donation can possibly be.
Red Cross called me and told me we found your cousin.
That night, immediately, the Red Cross was there.
And what they did for me was give me that break. They gave me that leverage.
That was the Red Cross.
You gave me life.
I looked down at my hands and realized I'm doing CPR.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this guy.
There's a lesson to be learned. Life is short. Make it worthwhile.
It's hard to describe what it was like to be that grateful.
I talked to my mother for the first time after 21 years.
I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky to have survived that day and to have the rest of this life.
This weekend I'm just, you know, enjoying life.
We can only do this important work because of your generous donors like all of you in this room. We all know disaster will strike. What we do not know is when. That is why it's critical that our communities are ready to face whatever comes, whether a tornado that destroys a small town, flooding that devastates a few homes, or an entire communities, or a home fire that displaces a family. The Red Cross will be able to help because of your generosity. This evening we ask you to help us build more resilient communities. On the way in, you received a pledge card. We know from the stories we've heard tonight that you do not need to wear a cape to be a hero. I ask you now to please join me and be a hero for the Red Cross by making your generous gift. Please fill out a pledge card, then place your donation with the pledge card in the attached envelope, and a table host will come around to collect them. I will pause now to let you make your gift, and if you did not receive a pledge card, just please raise your hand. My wife.
Give her a really big one. I promise the gift you are giving will be put to good use every day. My sincere thank you to each of you for being here. You are all heroes.
Well, once again, thank you so much for all the donations there, and we certainly appreciate it. And it's been a fantastic evening. And once again, you can make your donation throughout the course of the evening here. And unfortunately, time's passed rather quickly, but once again, congratulations again to each of our remarkable heroes. The inspiring stories we've heard today reflect the importance of the Red Cross in our daily lives.
If you haven't done so yet, please remember 3 things. Number 1, leave your gift to the American Red Cross with your table host. 2, download the Red Cross tornado and flood apps. And 3, nominate your hero for next year.
Okay, we have just one final piece of business here to announce the auction winners and to give away the weather radio as well. So we raised a lot of money with the silent auction. I think we're going to have some more information here from Tammy. And also a reminder that auction items can be paid for and picked up on the lower level to where the auction was held. So once again, make sure you pick up the winning bids at the lower level.
Tammy Lee joins us to announce the winning bids.
All right, I know it's time to wrap up the evening, but I do want to take just a minute to let you know who the winners of our silent auction are, and then everybody who put in a pledge card, we're going to do a drawing for our weather radio, this very fine piece of equipment that you don't want to be without. So if you'll give me just a moment, I'll announce the winners of the auction items. So the Shaw Living Area Rug by Nova's Carpet is bidder number 5. And again, go down to the lower level and you can take care of payment for your items and pick them up. The Pirates and Princesses package from the Children's Museum of SiouxLand was purchased by bidder number 22. The Lakes area package by a number of different folks in the Great Lakes area was by bidder number 17. And bidder number 17 was also the winner of the Camilla Charm Bracelet by Thorpe & Company Jewelers. Thank you, bidder number 17. The Canvas Print goes to bidder number 5. That's by CJO Arts. We had a Funkalicious package, and that was purchased by bidder number 34. Way to go, Deb. Enjoy. Does Deb get that, or is that you, Jen? Thank you. Vintage jewelry was purchased by bidder number 33, and that was donated by Kathy and Mike Bowman. Again, some very gracious bidders over here. Then we had a hammered bowl set, and that was purchased by bidder number 15, and that came from Studio 427. The Get Funky Gifts package was purchased by bidder number 44. Sunless Tanning from Ignite by bidder number 38. The Marina Inn Suite and Brunch, so if you enjoyed your stay here, you can come back, bidder number 24. Dinner and a Movie, Bev's on the River and Main Street Theaters, bidder number 51. Massage and Body, bidder number 20. RevTAC for Firearm Instruction goes to bidder number 49. McCarthy and Bailey's, $85 gift card to bidder number 38. And we have a great package at the American Inn and some things from SiouxLand OBGYN. That goes to bidder number 18. So that comes to the end of our silent auction. We did have Over $1,600 was raised this evening, so thank you very much to all of our bidders. And let's have a round of applause, please. And I would like Josh Little, if you'll come up here, I need somebody to draw the winner of our most fabulous weather radio. So come on up here, Josh. All right, let's bring her right out here in the middle so your mom can take a picture of you. All right, you got it? Okay, what you bringing on over here? I'll do a quick slice and can read the winning contribution goes to, come on up here, Josh. Are you going to say it for me? Tim Hubert. Okay.
Tim Hubert.
Is Tim Hubert still with us? Tim Hubert, are you still in the room? Is Tim with us? Yes? Oh, there he is. No. Come on up here and claim your weather radio. You're not taking it. Oh, he's upstairs. So he's not here. Can you get him the weather radio? All right. We'll get the weather radio to Tim. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening.